Hello and welcome to Arts Culture UK. Joining me in this segment is director Hector Pompous.
It's Pompose.
Oh, Pompose. I apologise, Hector.
No, it's fine.
Hector, your directorial debut has come out this week, The Experience, to almost unanimously negative reviews. How do you respond?
Well, first I'd like to say as a director,
Yes.
I like to challenge people.
Yes.
I like to take them out of their comfort zone.
Sure.
And that's exactly what I tried to do with this major motion picture, Experience.
And how do you address the negative reviews?
This film can't really be reviewed in the traditional sense.
How do you mean?
Well, the experience of the movie is unique to every individual who sees it.
Mr. Pompous, that can be said of almost every movie.
Yes, but this film even more so.
Let's delve into the heart of the criticism. You made a movie that's 122 minutes long.
Correct.
And of those 122 minutes, 120 of them feature no image and no sound.
No, that's not correct.
What?
See, this is an experience. This is about being in the cinema space. And looking ahead and seeing into that large black screen ahead of you, and whatever you see there will be totally unique to every individual.
It seems pretty unanimous, Mr. Pompous. They all hate it.
It's unimaginative, uninspiring groupthink, to be honest.
Mr. Pompous, you made a movie that's 122 minutes long and a budget of £5 million, where nothing happens, and you expect people to pay between $4.99 and $11.99 for a ticket. Could people not simply replicate this experience, as you call it, in their living room, staring at the wall?
No, that's not right at all. This is a movie about people being back in the cinema. It's about reacquainting people with that unfamiliar space that they now have to negotiate again. It's about bringing them back into that area that was inaccessible as a result of the lockdown. They've got to navigate it in new ways and become acquainted with it all over again. And that's the purpose, in many ways, of the film, to provide people with a method of doing so.
Let's go to the comments. Mark Hughes from Eastleigh says he saw it last week and he was so bored he spent the entire duration playing hide and seek.
And that's a wonderful story of someone experiencing the film and renegotiating that space. You know, I read before this interview, in fact, that one person had seen the movie 3 times in a row.
Well, he was found dead in the cinema.
Yes, I did see that. It's true, he died at some point, but I wasn't going to mention that because I thought it might put people off the film.
Another comment here, the team in Eastleigh at a staff screening was so bored they wrapped each other up in bubble wrap and pushed themselves down the stairs.
And again, that's a wonderful story. I thank them for sharing that, of people acclimatizing themselves to the space again and renegotiating it and learning all about that environment.
Right.
It's sort of like, to me it seems, being kind of like a cat and finding yourself in a new room, and you've got to sort of explore it and learn it and navigate it and use all of your different senses, your paws, your whiskers, your eyes, to sort of just learn the environment you're in.
Mr. Pompous, cats aside, you're telling us that you produced a movie with nothing happening so people can go and sit in the cinema and do whatever they want.
Well, yes, I suppose that's a rather crude way of putting it. You've sort of got the argument there. And yes, essentially, this experience I feel is so unique and has an ineffable brilliance to it that I felt compelled to submit it to the Oscars.
Mr. Pompous, how do you reconcile the fact that nothing happens yet this film has a budget of £5 million?
Well, like any movie, it has a number of people involved in different roles who work on the film, and these people should be paid for their work. That's how the budget works.
I completely agree, Mr. Pompous, but it seems most of that money went to you.
I myself worked in the film in many roles, actually, as a director, producer, and of course writer.
There was a script?
Certainly there's a script.
Is it 125 blank pages?
Not quite, no.
Mr. Pompous, you seem heavily involved in this film, and the money mostly went to you.
Well, I feel people ultimately should be paid for their work.
Well, how do you reconcile the fact that there's
And
nothing on the
as to
screen?
your comment there,
Yes.
can that really be determined? Can you really look at a film and say, this movie here costs that much?
There should be value
Well,
on the
let's
screen.
dissect it further. Could you choose a film and dissect it and say this scene here costs $100,000 and this scene here costs $75,000? Could that be done realistically?
Yes. Easily.
Well, honestly, I have to say I've never seen the science there, the hard science.
It's just a case of looking at the... Very well, Mr. Pompos. Thank you for your time today. The experience is still at the cinemas for another 2 weeks, so if you would like to see it and experience it... Oh, he's gone. Yes, fuck it.